Hi folks, this is Jake. Hope you're okay today. We're looking at this heavy hitting academic work, James D.J. Dunn, Christology in the Making. It's a pretty hefty tome, and we're looking at what he has to say about Jesus. He says that conclusion at the end of 3.5 was provisional, and amounted simply to clearing of the ground to open the way for a more detailed investigation of the more plausible candidates for the position of a precursor of the Christian doctrine of the Incarnation. We have now completed that examination and can draw more final conclusions. These are as follows. There is no evidence that there existed prior to Christianity a belief in a heavenly Son of Man who would appear from heaven as Israel's Messiah. So far as we can tell, it was Christianity, Jesus or the first Christians, who made the first identification of the Son of Man in Daniel's vision as a particular individual. Whether there was a belief current at the time of Jesus and the Elijah or Enoch themselves would return from heaven at the end of the age is not clear, but in any case there is no real indication that Jesus was at any time identified as either, and the probability that Enoch's identification with Daniel's Son of Man was provoked by Christianity's Son of Man Christology is stronger than the vice versa alternative. Again, there is no evidence of belief in a heavenly man who would act as a final redeemer in the period prior to Christianity. Such speculation as there was concerning the first man or concept of heavenly platonic ideal of man did not regard him as a saviour descending to earth. Here too it is more probable that Christianity's own identification of Christ as the last Adam provided the decisive impetus for the wider speculations to the primal man redeemer myth. I don't agree it's a myth. The so-called intermediary figures in pre-Christian Judaism, only angels properly qualified for the description, and though there was a clear enough concept of angelic leadership of the faithful in the final climactic events of the age, there was certainly no thought of angels becoming men in order to redeem. Again, though there are indications that some of the earliest Christians' popular piety wanted to think of an exalted Christ as an angel, such speculation was strongly rejected by the leading voices in the community in question, and elsewhere the possibility of understanding Jesus as an angel was not even considered. I find that quite fascinating, because if that's correct, it means that you can't say, well, there are these dying and rising gods that were before Jesus and the church copied them, because he's saying no, there's no evidence actually for some of the motifs that Christianity uses prior to its existence, such as the heavenly Son of Man. I think there is a couple of comments of the Son of Man in some of the early Jewish writings before the Gospels, but whether they teach heavenly man, I don't know, but he seems to think they didn't. But the point is taken is that it seems to me the conclusion there is Christianity is unique in that it didn't just take its ideas from the surrounding culture concerning who Jesus was. I mean, there were certain ideas such as the logos is a word that was used by Greek writers and Jewish writers, but the idea of the whole Jewish Jesus life and what he was all about, and the interpretation of that, his life and death, seems to be unique to Christianity.